X says Grok will no longer edit images of real people into bikinis. OpenAI quietly rolled out a dedicated ChatGPT translation tool. And Spotify is getting a little more expensive in February. It's Thursday, January 15th, and here's a quick look at tech in the news this morning from Engadget. X says it is changing its policies around Grok's image editing abilities following a multi-week outcry over the chatbot repeatedly being accused of generating sexualized images of children and non-consensual nudity. In an update shared from the safety account on X, the company said it has implemented technological measures to prevent the Grok account from allowing the editing of images of real people in revealing clothing, such as bikinis. The new safeguards, according to X, will apply to all users regardless of whether they pay for Grok. XAI is also moving all of Grok's image-generating features behind its subscriber paywall so that non-paying users will no longer be able to create images. And it will geo-block the ability of all users to generate images of real people in bikinis, underwear, and similar attire via the Grok account and in Grok in X in regions where it is illegal. Now, the company's statement came hours after the state of California opened an investigation into XAI and Grok over its handling of AI-generated nudity and child exploitation material. A statement from California Attorney General Rob Bonta cited one analysis that found more than half of the 20,000 images generated by XAI between Christmas and New Year's depicted people in minimal clothing, including some that appeared to be children. In its update, X said that it has zero tolerance for child exploitation and that it removes high-priority violative content, including child sexual abuse material and non-consensual nudity, from its platform. Earlier in the day, Elon Musk said he was not aware of any naked underage images generated by Grok. He later added that when the not safe for work setting is enabled, Grok is supposed to allow upper body nudity of imaginary adult humans, not real ones, consistent with what can be seen in R-rated movies on Apple TV. He added that this will vary in other regions based on local laws. Malaysia and Indonesia both recently moved to block Grok, citing safety concerns and its handling of sexually explicit AI-generated material. In the UK, where regulator Ofcom is also investigating XAI and Grok, officials have also said they would back a similar block of the chatbot. OpenAI has debuted a dedicated ChatGPT-powered translation tool. While folks have been using the main chatbot for translation for some time, Android Authority spotted that you can now find ChatGPT Translate on its own webpage. OpenAI says the tool can translate text, voice inputs, and images into more than 50 languages in seconds, and there's an automatic language detection function as well. Now, most interestingly, ChatGPT Translate can rewrite the output to take various contexts and tones into account, much in the same way that more general text-generating AI tools can do. With a single tap, it can rewrite the translation into something more fluent for a business formal audience, to make it more child-friendly or for academic purposes. The tool's webpage says ChatGPT Translate understands tone, idioms, and context. While those tone and context considerations are intriguing, ChatGPT Translate is a little underbaked compared with the likes of Google Translate, which has been around for decades and just got its own Gemini-based makeover with better support for understanding idioms and slang. The desktop version of ChatGPT Translate does not yet allow for voice inputs, though the mobile one does, as Android Authority noted. And despite claims that ChatGPT can translate text in an image, there's currently no way to upload one to the tool. There's no website, document, or handwriting translation support as yet either. Perhaps most crucially, ChatGPT Translate lives on a web page right now, and there's no dedicated app, so using it offline appears to be out of the question as things stand. No app with on-device translation support could make ChatGPT Translate a no-go for travelers in rural areas with no internet access. There's no support for translating real-time conversations as yet either. By contrast, Google's Pixel 10 now supports voice translations for calls. Now, it's not exactly clear when ChatGPT Translate made its debut. It arrived with zero fanfare from OpenAI. There's a snapshot on the webpage from November on the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine that looks just like the current one, but that may have simply been a case of OpenAI testing a live version of the tool. Well, Spotify is raising prices for its premium subscriptions by $1 to $2 across the board beginning in February. Those are similar figures to the company's last price hike back in 2024. Subscribers across the U.S., Estonia, and Latvia will soon receive an email notifying them that they'll be paying a larger amount for their February bill. The streaming service said it's raising its prices occasionally to, quote, reflect the value that Spotify delivers, to continue offering the best possible experience, and to benefit artists, end quote. It reported last week that it paid out $10 billion to music rights holders in 2024, but it is worth noting that several Grammy-nominated songwriters boycotted an awards event it hosted to protest the supposed decreasing royalties songwriters are getting from Spotify plays. Subscribers who choose to keep their accounts will now pay $13 instead of $12 a month for an individual plan, or $7 instead of $6 for a student plan. The Duo plan will now cost users $19 a month instead of $17, while the Family plan will cost $2 more, moving from $20 to $22. Now, one thing to note, Spotify did come under fire late last year for running recruitment ads for ICE. It said the advertisements were part of a larger campaign by the U.S. government that ran across platforms including Meta and Google. The company recently confirmed that that campaign has ended and there are no ICE ads currently running on the service. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and more tech news at Engadgets.com. This episode featured journalism from Carissa Bell, Chris Holt, and Mariella Moon, and was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from Engadget.